Hi friends, how's everyone doing tonight? Greetings from my kitchen and welcome to another edition of Dishes with Dayz. I just got home from work. I never like to go to bed with dishes in my sink. Never got around to it this morning because I was dealing with bullshit regarding my shower stall drain, which is clogged up. And tomorrow I had to rearrange my schedule so that my landlady could send the plumbers over to deal with it. I think that it's ice, not necessarily like a hair clog or anything, because let's face it, what hair, you know? But this has happened last season around this time, right after the winter, because the way my cottage is constructed, it wasn't really meant to be a year-round cottage. It's a seasonal bungalow. And the bathroom is a small room that juts out toward the back of the house over an area that's just plain ground. It's not insulated or heated. So even when the spring thaw comes, you know, it's been a little bit warmer now. The earth underneath there, pardon me while I adjust my bra. What am I trying to say? It's frozen, okay? In the elbow of the drain underneath where the water goes down, I believe there's like a frozen knot, which no amount of pouring boiling water down there is even doing anything for, or salt water or liquid plumber or any of that. So I've been dealing with that for like a week, bailing it out before I can take a shower, which is gross because I'm not about to stand in like cold old soap water while I take a shower. So I had to deal with her. She lives in California, to convince her that this was like a real problem and that she had to send a contractor over. And this is a real bugaboo of living here. There's been a lot of problems over the past 4 years. And I'm not really thrilled with my rent either for how small this place is, but I like it because it's right on the lake and because it's a freestanding cottage and it's not an apartment or like somebody's basement. I've lived in enough second and third floor apartments and basements in my time, and I told myself if I ever had the chance to pay around the same amount of money for rent and live in a house, I would do it. And I like it. It's very small and cute and cozy and quaint. And sometimes I do hate that I don't have a bathtub or a washer or dryer, but I make do, even though sometimes it feels more like I'm camping, but it's just me. I mean, honestly, yeah, would I like something bigger? Sure. Would I like to spend more money for it? No, because I'm never home. I'm always working, which is the irony of trying to support a home. If you need to work more to support a better home with more rent, then you're not even home to enjoy said house. I'm very good at blathering on and babbling, aren't I? And I'm kind of like crouching down a little so I can look in the camera. If I stand fully up, I feel like it's like boob cam. And so yeah, the long and the short of it is that tomorrow I'm not working during the day. I'm going to do the 10 p.m. to 8 a.m. overnight shift, which I do not enjoy. But it's, you know, a 10-hour shift with slightly more pay because it's overnight. And this way I can sleep in the morning and get a lot of things done. I have to return a piece of jewelry that I bought from Buddha Groove a month ago that has already broken, and I wore it twice. I was thinking about maybe getting a manicure, possibly a pedicure, because my nails are just all chewed up and gross, and I'm not taking care of them enough. And I was thinking of coloring my hair, and definitely going to the laundromat, and that's about it. As far as Amberlynn Reed, I already mentioned her in 2 other videos today. I don't believe that woman deserves any more conversation or time, or for me to even look at her video in depth again so that I can like have a real blow-by-blow reaction. There were certain points that really just disgusted me, and if that's the effect she was going for, boy, she sure did hit a home run, because I watched about a half a dozen other reaction video YouTubers today who were absolutely just done with her. Sabina and Justine Kicking Geese had to actually like shut it off before it was done. And I have a feeling that even the most stalwart reactioners, you know, she doesn't give you much to work with anymore. I mean, she does and she doesn't. She does because she's a train wreck 24/7, but she's so obvious about it now that it's not even like sly or clever that she's trolling us and that she's given up and she doesn't care, and I guess she's going out with a bang. Today, you know, she was shoveling that food in so fast and furious, I thought she was going to go out with a piece of kielbasa stuck in her trachea. Like, I'm in the healthcare field, and we're monitoring people's eating all the time, and their diets, you know, the way we have to chop them up and grind them up and puree them up. So as I'm watching her, I'm thinking, she could actually choke. She's literally shoveling that food in, and she's like inhaling it, and she's not chewing. It was like an eating contest video. And I'm thinking to myself, what is she aiming for here? To like choke to death on camera? Like, I don't understand. I guess the theaters that are paying her request it to be that way, including her ridiculous open mouth chomping and slurping and her moaning and her weird eye looks and that sound she makes, that oh my God, guys, that made me want to put something sharp through my own eye. I'm not a violent person, but like, I just, you know, it's not fun or amusing anymore. It's not entertaining, it's not humorous, it's not diverting. I mean, you might say to yourself, well, then why are you talking about it? I'm trying to just understand, and I don't think I ever will. I think I'm a pretty smart person. I think I'm a fairly analytical person, but I'll never understand why she thinks she's winning. You know, her whole attitude of, you know, you hurt me, I'll show you. You know, I'm an alcoholic and I'm a former food addict, and I learned all about that attitude when I was in rehab and in therapy. And you know, you find that you've been spending years punishing and hurting yourself because you're mad at the world, or you refuse to get out of victim status and be the victor of your past and your trauma and your XYZ, which we've all had. You know, she does not have the market cornered on childhood trauma by a long shot, and but not everybody becomes an addict over it. You know, some people can break the cycle, and nobody's saying it's easy. It's probably, self-honesty is probably one of the hardest things a person can do. But you know, and her sitting there doing a mukbang, to me, is absolutely no different than giving an alcoholic or a drug addict a YouTube forum and paying them to self-destruct. Her eating that way and being her size and making money off of it on YouTube to the delight and disgust of 123,000 people is no different than an alcoholic saying, okay, well, fuck you, and laying down, turning on the camera, and putting a funnel to his or her mouth and pouring in straight vodka. It's no different than a heroin addict saying, well, guys, yep, I have problems. I'm a heroin addict, so guess what I'm going to do? And then tying off and shooting up. She thinks there's no difference between talking about food abuse and drug abuse, but we're talking about how the brain works, not just the substance of choice. And the fact that she is killing herself with food means that there's no difference between what she's doing and someone who's gambling their family's money away, or shopping their family's money away, or ruining relationships and marriages because of sleeping around with everybody compulsively and addictively. It's no different from alcoholics or drug addicts, brain-wise, behavior-wise. It's no different. And her absolutely moronic argument about, it's not the same, guys, because you have to eat every day, makes me want to drive to Kentucky and have a talk with our Goro. Because, young lady, I beg to differ, okay? You're 28, I'm 52. You know, you've never been married or had kids or whatever. I'm not saying, please don't get offended at me. I'm not saying that means that's what gives you the most experience in life. But it gives you some perspective. And, oh, God. For her to say, you have to eat every day, it's just the most stupid thing to say. Because you know what, Amberlynn Reed? Yeah, we do have to eat every day. Well, mostly we have to drink water every day. She could easily last 2 weeks without anything besides water. But she could eat salads. She could eat fruit. She could eat her infamous brown rice and sweet potatoes that she talks about. She could eat a big green leafy salad with salmon in it, or grilled chicken breast. She could have a piece of lean pork. She could have, oh my God, there's so many things she could eat. She doesn't have to eat the worst possible things because she's using the excuse, well, I have to eat every day. Eating every day has nothing to do with binging and, you know, I don't know, thinking that a big old white baked potato and about, you know, what was that, a pound or so of kielbasa was a healthy choice, or even just calling it food. It's so ridiculous. And it's like she either knows she's being ridiculous and doesn't care, therefore, hello, troll, or she's that ignorant and obtuse and stupid to think that all calories are the same and all carbs are the same, and oh, I stayed within my calories, so I'm going to eat a candy bar, or oh, I'm doing low carbs, so I'm going to do this, or oh, I'm doing high carbs, so I'm going to do this. And she acts like she does research. Give me a freaking break. Looking up some successful Instagram accounts or YouTubers that are doing a certain thing and thinking you're going to get that way by osmosis or by eating one potato at a meal. Like I said earlier, why is she afraid of ketosis? Ketosis is how low-carb diets work. You go into ketosis and then your body's using your fat for fuel. Or, you know, it's mobilizing all your stores and everything. Speaking of fat, I look really fat today because I gained 3.8 pounds, even though I didn't overeat this week. And so obviously I have to look at myself, take my own advice, and do a few things differently. I have to tweak my formulation of not eating at night, not snacking at work, and not eating salty foods especially. I'm not like a chip person, but I did eat Cheez-Its this week. I had a couple Oreos, I had some pizza, and I ate whatever I wanted pretty much on Sunday, which was, I keep wanting to say Valentine's. No, it was St. Patrick's Day. I didn't pig out, but I wasn't as mindful or aware as I'd like to be. I'm not going to freak out about this, because to me this could also be water weight from sodium and a normal fluctuation. But I just wanted to rant and rave a little bit more about Amberlynn Reid and talk about my own struggles with it. And I talked about my shower drain. What else can I talk about? I guess that's it. I had some very, very, very stressful moments today at work with a certain coworker that is so passive-aggressive and so, I want to say bullying, but it doesn't even seem like it's deliberate bullying. It seems like it's just a very displaced, aggressive, alpha, insecure kind of, like, you know, he has to critique everything. Everything has to be a comment, a critique, a criticism, a bluster, a one-upsman, kind of a, what's the word I'm looking for? Intimidation. That's the word I want. He's intimidating. And I have to work with him for the overnight tomorrow night. I know that one of the assistant managers of the house watches my videos. I don't know if you're watching right now. Hello, I won't mention your name. But that's where I'm at because this is my channel and I'm just keeping it real. I didn't mention that coworker by name. And I don't go on and on about work too much, except that everyone knows what I do. They don't know where I work. Anyway, guys, this is very, very rambly. I'm almost done shutting off my water. And thanks for listening to me. Let me know what you think about the realm of Amberlynn Reid, if you even are concerned at this point. If and when she passes away or winds up hospitalized or bedbound or gets demonetized, I mean, obviously life's going to go on. We're all going to have other things to focus on and talk about. I'll probably just keep talking about my life and my own struggles and how I want to cure my own binge monster, TM. And I'm still writing my poetry, and I'm still working hard, and I'm still trying to be a good mother and grandmother and contributing member of society and not just ruled by addiction. Gotta stop the smoking too. am worrying about my hair and how I look. I love you guys. Peace out till next time. Have a good night.